Most winemakers dabble in everything. Peta Baverstock chose sparkling wine and never made anything else. She's one of only a few winemakers in Australia focusing on sparkling only. She's a true specialist. We recently held a blind tasting of Australian Sparkling Rosé, part of our deep dive series at younggunofwine.com. Our panel of winemakers and sommeliers picked their favourites, tasted completely blind. And this wine, the 2022 Cuvée Co Ivy Elliott Sparkling Rosé, was selected as one of the top wines. And in the glass, it's a pale rose gold colour. It smells like a pastry shop. Think brioche and raspberry Danish and more pastries with sweet baking spices like cannelé, and that pastry-like complexity comes from 30 months aging on lees in bottle. Lees are the spent yeast cells left after secondary fermentation in the bottle. As the wine ages in contact with them, the yeast breaks down, a process called autolysis, releasing compounds that add texture and creaminess and brioche-like character. 30 months is serious time, and this wine has just waves of strawberries and cream in the glass too that are complemented or contrasted by these savoury elements like toast and mushroom and caramelised onion, and those flavours just continue on a palate that has this taut ruby grapefruit flavour and a chalky minerality too. Production of this wine is tiny, just 100 dozen bottles produced. It's made from around 2/3 Pinot Noir from Robe, and the remaining third is Chardonnay from a vineyard near Mount Gambier. And both of these regions are in the Limestone Coast at the southern tip of South Australia. While the Limestone Coast includes 6 regions and has a great diversity in soils, it's called the Limestone Coast for a reason. You can probably guess why. Peta was drawn here by that limestone. The benefits of growing vines on limestone are that it can drain water well, so the roots don't get too soggy, but it can also retain moisture in the pores too, which helps provide water to the vines during dry spells. And it can also impart a chalky or mineral character to the wine, which you're certainly seeing here. The region also benefits from the Bonnie upwelling in the Southern Ocean, where icy cold Antarctic waters push to the surface from November to May, creating cool sea breezes that blow across the vineyards through the growing season. And those cold winds help ripen the grapes slowly, retaining acidity and freshness in the fruit, which helps provide a structural backbone for the wines that can age. And Peta chose sparkling wine when she was 20 and fully committed. She apprenticed under Australia's godfather of sparkling, Ed Carr, at House of Arras for almost a decade. She won a scholarship to work with Bollinger Champagne, and she's been a finalist in the Vintage Champagne Awards multiple times. She launched her own label, Cuvée Co, in 2018 and has been a past finalist in the Young Gun of Wine Awards. There's something to be said for choosing a path early and going deep rather than wide. And most winemakers chase reds and whites and everything in between, and Peta chose bubbles and never wavered, and that kind of focus sharpens the work, and this is the result. For the full deep dive into Australian Sparkling Rosé, head to younggunofwine.com. Cheers.